Newcastle are on the move again, and this time, the name involved is the kind that makes every fan stop in their tracks. No major headlines, no big fuss, but with surgical precision behind the scenes, the Magpies have taken the first step in what could be a market-shaking deal. While most of the fan base was still debating Wissa's chances of joining, another high-profile striker has entered the radar and, according to reliable sources, the club have already made direct contact, and that changes everything. Supporters who closely follow Newcastle can already sense this kind of atmosphere. It's the same one that usually comes before major decisions. A moment of strategic silence, when nothing is confirmed publicly, but everything indicates that something significant is about to happen. The signs aren't loud, but they're all there. Players missing from training, vague answers in interviews, and above all, increasingly strong rumors from credible sources. And when Sky Sports gets involved, it usually means something big is on the horizon. If you're the type of fan who lives and breathes every Newcastle rumor and behind-the-scenes update, this is the perfect moment to join our channel. Subscribe now. Here you'll always be one step ahead when it comes to news, background developments, and transfer updates. Plus, your subscription helps this content reach even more black and white supporters like you. Just click the button. It's free and makes a huge difference for us to keep bringing you videos like this. In recent days, Newcastle's board has remained committed to strengthening the attacking squad ahead of the new season. With the transfer window wide open and rivals moving quickly, the Magpies know they need to act smartly and decisively. After a failed attempt to sign Hugo Ekitike, the club redirected its focus. And as always, quietly but strategically, another name began gaining traction behind the scenes. And not just any name, this is someone with Champions League, World Cup, and major European club experience. And now, yes, we can reveal the central point of this story. According to journalist Sacha Tavolieri of Sky Switzerland, Newcastle have made an approach to sign French striker Randall Kolo Muani, currently contracted to Paris Saint-Germain. The player, valued at around £76 million, emerges as a serious option, not just as a new addition, but potentially as Alexander Isak's replacement should the Swede leave this summer. The report has also been confirmed by Sky Sports, adding even more credibility to the rumor. Kolo Muani's name didn't appear in this story by accident. He's coming off a solid season, having performed well during a 6-month loan spell at Juventus, where he scored 10 goals and provided 3 assists in 22 matches, including key performances at the Club World Cup. Despite returning to PSG, the French giants appear willing to let him go again, and Newcastle are now seen as one of the frontrunners in the race for his signature. And let's not forget, Kolo Muani has been linked with Premier League sides in previous windows. Manchester United and Aston Villa are also reportedly monitoring his situation, but this time it's Newcastle who've acted first. The club's board reportedly sees the Frenchman as a complete forward, quick, technical, with a strong presence in the box and the ability to play both centrally and out wide. In other words, a player who offers real tactical versatility to Eddie Howe, especially if Isak does move on. If you're enjoying this kind of in-depth coverage and want to keep up with everything going on behind the scenes at Newcastle, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Here you'll always get trustworthy information, delivered with that human touch only true fans can provide. So hit the notification bell, leave your like, and come along with us on this journey. Another important factor reinforcing Newcastle's interest in Kolo Muani is the current status of negotiations for Yoane Wissa. The Brentford striker is also a target for the club and, according to English press reports, has already agreed personal terms with the Magpies. The problem, however, lies in Brentford's asking price, over £50 million. Nottingham Forest, for instance, already had an offer rejected reportedly worth less than £25 million. Newcastle's board is keeping a close eye on Wissa's situation but have no intention of overpaying. And that's exactly why Kolo Muani's name is gaining even more strength. The idea is not to replace Wissa, but to have a top-level alternative ready in case Plan A falls through or, in a bolder scenario, to bring in both players and truly raise the level of the attacking options. The potential departure of Alexander Isak is also an important variable in this situation. So far, the club has given no sign that they want to sell him. On the contrary, Newcastle remain determined to keep their number 14 as one of the cornerstones of the squad. However, interest from European giants and Saudi Arabian clubs has raised concern behind the scenes. In a market where astronomical figures are thrown around with ease, no one can say for certain that an irresistible offer won't appear. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to join our community. We're monitoring everything, minute by minute, and will continue to bring you responsible and accurate updates. Subscribe now and stay ahead of all the moves that will shape Newcastle's future in the coming weeks. Back to Kolo Muani, it's important to highlight what he could bring to Eddie Howe's side. We're talking about a 25-year-old striker, right in his physical and technical prime, who has already proven his quality across multiple European leagues. At Frankfurt, he had a sensational season before being bought by PSG. At the Parisian club, he faced intense competition for minutes but never lost his internal reputation. His performances at Juventus only reinforce the view that he can be decisive, especially when trusted with consistent game time. Moreover, Kolo Muani is a player who combines intensity and tactical intelligence. He moves well between the lines, presses high, and reads the game to create space and chances. He's the kind of striker who fits perfectly into Eddie Howe's philosophy: high energy, adaptable, and always switched on. And though he's French, he's already adjusted well to the physical, fast-paced style of European football, which makes his potential Premier League transition even smoother. Lastly, it's worth noting that all of this information was published by Sacha Tavolieri of Sky Switzerland and confirmed by outlets like Sky Sports. That gives this story a level of reliability far above your average transfer rumor or tabloid speculation. Newcastle really are eyeing up Kolo Muani, and if the next chapters unfold as expected, we might be looking at one of the biggest moves of this transfer window. If you want to know how this story ends, you already know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, share this video with fellow Newcastle fans, and leave a comment with your opinion. Do you think Kolo Muani would be a good signing? Or do you have someone else in mind for the Magpies front line? Your participation helps us keep growing and improving the content we deliver. And of course, stay tuned for the next videos, because, as we always say here at Newcastle, silence is almost always the prelude to something massive. See you next time.